Hi guys, it's Lizzie and Pete from the Academy team, and we are in London South Bank today testing out the brand new Sony A9ii.
It might seem a little bit random that we've come into London to test out Sony's brand new Pro mirrorless camera, and this time of year all the manufacturers are talking about their Olympic launches. Nikon, Canon, Sony have actually brought theirs to the market early, but it's middle of November, it's freezing cold, there's not a lot of things to test the speed and performance of this camera, so we thought we'd bring it down to a skate park with skating going into the Olympics next year and see what the camera's capable of. To skate park then, because it's all about speed. It is indeed.
But I mean, the A9 was all about speed, so what's different?
The key improvements with the Mark II have been around performance for the pro level photographer. So the speed of Wi-Fi transfer is now up to 5 gigahertz. It's got a 1000 base FTP Ethernet transfer. So it's really built with that pro level sports, pro level media photographer, well ahead of next year's Olympics. There's been improvements to the mechanical shutter in the camera, which personally I prefer the mechanical over the electronic shutter. The mechanical now does 10 frames a second, which is a big leap from the 9 Mark I. Most of the other tweaks are either ergonomics, handling, weather sealing, or just subtle improvements, things like little lock buttons that you really cried out for on the Mark I, that just improve the handling for the pro photographer. So yeah, Sony have received quite a bit of stick about the improvements to the A9 and the fact that the Mark II wasn't revolutionary like the first edition. But they've also made it no secret that the camera's actually been released and has been specifically designed and developed for the pro level photographer. It's not being billed as a camera for everyone. It's not an enthusiast camera. It's not an entry-level beginner camera. They're very much targeting at the pro audience ahead of the Olympics next year, and the improvements very much tailor to the needs of that type of photographer.
So can you explain the FTP in a little bit more detail? Because am I right in thinking it is that, I guess, is aimed at the people at sporting events kind of on the sidelines who want to instantly transfer their stuff, and whenever I've gone to a sporting event or a stadium, 4G, that's a no-go.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a big factor, especially with the Olympics next year, but as you say, the sidelines, football matches, for example, most stadiums you go to have got a direct Ethernet system, so you can plug in, hook your laptop on one end, your camera on the other end, you get direct FTP transfer from the camera to the computer. It completely transforms the connectivity and the speed of everything that you can do, and how quickly you can get everything to your editors and your publishers. It's just, having it built into a camera makes your life so much easier. Yeah,
it sounds really cool. There's also the one thing that I did notice when I was reading through some of the spec was the voice memo, voice tagging.
Yeah, so once you've captured your video or your images, you can actually now, through the A9ii system, you can create a voice memo that tags into the metadata of the images. So it automatically gives the newsroom, for example, a little bit more of a context or background or information about the images, or even just for yourself later when you're reviewing through, and you've shot so many events through the day, you can remember exactly what event it is, whether it's a guy from the javelin or a guy that just fell off a high jump. You don't know. So we've got one of the guys who's going to come shooting down here fairly quick, almost directly at me head on. And we're going to really just put the real-time tracking AF to its paces, see if we can get that eye detection to lock on. Even if we don't, just make sure that tracking works and moves with him as he comes down, and then hopefully does a nice wall ride right in front of me.
It's really awkward when there's one camera to share between two people, and one of those people happens to be Pete, who is a motorsports fanatic. I guess skateboarding is very similar to motorsports in his eyes. So luckily I've brought the RX 100 Mark 7 with me as well. So basically an A9 on the inside, may as well just shoot with that one. How's it looking?
It's looking pretty good. So we've tied it up with a bit of flash just because we're undercover. We just want to make the images pop a little bit. So we've thrown in a little bit of flash there, but the tracking focus hasn't missed a beat so far. He's appearing suddenly, it's snapping to him, it's capturing as he flies through the air. It's just pretty awesome.
So the improvements sound great, but if you are not a pro photographer going to the Olympics, then you may as well just get the A9?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the A9 Mark I had so much in it, 24 million pixel, 20 frames per second, zero blackout viewfinder. Okay, the improvements in the Mark II to the mechanical shutter appeal to a very select pro-level photographers. The A9 is just an unbelievably powerful tool that pretty much any photographer can pick it up, whether it's wildlife, fashion, portraits, sports. It's got something in it that works for them. So it's far more available, and it's a lot cheaper now as well.
I like it. I said to Pete earlier, I know it's not exclusive to the A9 too, but I really like the no blackout viewfinder that Sony's have got. It does make it a lot easier when you're doing sports to be able to keep your eye on the subject and not miss it when you're taking a shot. I also actually just like the fact that it's really fast, and I guess that's a combination of loads of things, but take a sequence of images, review it back instantly, means you can shoot again when the next skater is ready to grind on the pavement. I don't know what it's called. I really like it. It is a grind. Is that not a grind? Is that like a nose grind? We've stepped into the sunshine to warm ourselves up a little bit because I don't know about you, Pete, but I am freezing.
It was getting a tad cold in there, yeah, definitely.
But I think it's probably fair to say I am definitely not a sports photographer.
I don't know. I think I've been reviewing some of the shots, and as much as I'd love to say they were mine, there's definitely some keepers in there from you. Absolutely.
Probably two, maybe one.
4.
Maybe 4. How did you find it? You've used the A9 and you love that, don't you? So
yeah, I'm a big fan of the original Mark I A9. I've used it for loads of different things, motorsports predominantly.
So, in honesty, A9, A9 II, ergonomically, performance-wise, they don't really feel that different. If you're not a pro media photographer, if you're not a pro sports photographer, you don't need that Ethernet, that high-speed connectivity performance. The A9's an absolute bargain at the moment. In comparison, so much speed, so much performance, and it appeals to so many more photographers. And everybody could love it as much as you did.
That's true, everyone probably could. So if you are that person and you want to find out more information around the A9 II or just the A9, then head over to jessops.com now, or pop into your local store where one of our experts will be more than happy to help. So if you enjoyed watching this video, then give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and smash that bell icon too so you can stay up to date on all of our latest videos. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you on the next one.
Indeed.
Coffee?
Yes.
Coffee.